Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames, and check it out, we are on a roll lately. We have been doing some crazy reviews on some blasters we have, and if you guys were lucky enough to catch our live stream where we were kind of doing some reveal stuff, go back and check it out there. We revealed a ton of these blasters that we had on order. We've had them on order for about a month, and they're kind of slowly trickling in, so we're trying to get these reviews up so you guys can check it out. But check out that actual live stream we've done there in case you guys want to check it out. But check it out. Woo! The XS-908. I mean, it says the power launcher on here, but this thing, when I first opened this, I was like, oh, this is unique. This is kind of cool. I know there are some 3D printed blasters that are kind of similar to this, but I couldn't find one to exactly match it. But still, this thing is pretty crazy. So let's just hop right in and take a look at the box. On the outside, it says small steel cannon. All right, kind of cool. I do like the kind of yellow lettering there. You open it up, you do have, well, it comes with 14 of these yellowish darts, which most resemble kind of the Adventure Force stuff that we've been seeing out there. We got the magazine, we got the green dot scope, and we got the blaster. Underneath, there was nothing, which is kind of different. Typically, that's where all the goodies kind of hide, is underneath there. But still, I didn't see anything. But man, this blaster itself it looks so good. I mean, look at this in the hands. It just... Gosh, the grip is a little thick with a lot of these, so for a smaller nerfer, it might be a little bit large. For me, with big adult hands, it actually fits my hands fairly well. It doesn't feel too bad. It's just slightly on the large side. On the top, it does have that green dot scope. This is the same green dot scope that you see with a lot of these kind of blasters, and it's pretty straightforward. I actually think it looks pretty nice. It has a little battery in there, and it does turn on and off, so it lights up either green or red. I think most of mine are green, and I think I have one that is red. There is some tactical rails on the top here, so you have the one for the sight, and then two on each side if you want to mount maybe like a flashlight or something like that. I personally would take them off, but you know, it still gives a good look and feel. Now, there is a tactical rail on the front bottom right here too, but again, you can put whatever it is you want in there, but I think for the most part, people will probably use the front two as well as the top. Priming this thing is pretty cool. So you pull it back with your 2 fingers or a finger. This does have slide lock, so as soon as you run out of bullets, it will lock in place, and then if you want to release it, whoo, you just kind of push that little button right there on the right-hand side, and it slides back forward. I always think that functionality is really, really cool, I think. I like it. It's like, man, kind of like a real sidearm there. Now, the magazine is a 7-round magazine, and it slides in pretty well. I always notice with these blasters that it takes you a couple times, you know, probably like 20, 30 times to really get, you know, whatever is left in there, the stickiness, to kind of let the thing slide out all the way. But definitely the first whatever amount of times, yeah, it was not sliding out. I had to push the button and pull it out myself. No big deal. Now, one thing about this, though, is these mags. Whew, this is specific for this particular blaster, so maybe order a few if you want to. I thought, just by looking at it, I was thinking, oh, it's these worker. It's a smaller version of the worker angled mags, very similar, that come along with the Phoenix 2.0, but no, it doesn't fit. It is just slightly too big, and I was like, oh man, I thought that would have been awesome putting a big old 18-round mag in here, but nonetheless, yeah. So 7 rounds for me is just not enough, but pick a few of these up. I wish they had extended ones to go, you know, along with it. The darts is what kind of threw me for a loop. Typically, the darts that come along with some of these blasters are those hard tip darts. I'll throw them up there. I mean, they're so hard on the tip that if you shot, I feel like you shoot something, you're gonna crack it, break it. I just wouldn't recommend it. But these are actually a very cool yellow, very bright. You can see it, and they actually have a rubberized tip. Very similar, again, to the Dart Zone Pro stuff that you see. It's so, I was like, man, that is completely different than anything that I've seen so far with some of these kind of overseas blasters that you pick up. So again, overall, it feels really, really good in the hands. I'm just so surprised about kind of the whole mechanism of this. Now, this also does have an upgraded spring that we have coming. You guys can check it out there. I'll leave a link in the description for all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, whew, with the upgraded spring and all this, I'm going to be super pumped to get that 120, 130 performance, hopefully somewhere right in there. But yeah, let's take a look at me shooting this bad boy. Boom, I'm back on the backyard. It's not raining today out here in Washington, which is awesome. So I'm about 25 feet in the closer shots. Primarily, I was shooting the darts that come along with it, And yeah, I mean, I was right on target. One of the things to note is when you look at the front of this, you have two holes. The top one is more for the air plunger, and the bottom one is where it shoots. So if you are shooting a little bit low, it's because you probably think it's coming out the top. But you'll also notice sometimes when I cock this and release it back, it doesn't go all the way back forward. I'm assuming that later on as this thing breaks in, it will, but I did notice that in some capacities that it did not go back forward. So I give it that little extra push. And for whatever reason, I mean, this thing is pretty accurate, right on. I mean, only time I missed is when I just, in my head, I thought it was coming out the top instead of the bottom hole. Now, I moved back to about 35 feet and still pretty good. And the FPS was not bad. I mean, sitting close to about 100 FPS, which I think in most, most Nerf leagues and playing with buddies, nobody is going to complain about 100 FPS. You start hitting that like 150, 170, like that Worker Phoenix 2.0, yeah, you need to readjust and reevaluate because that is no joke. But still, 100 FPS is respectable for this. So again, you guys can see me shooting, just having a good time. Now, again, with that spring, I'm hoping it puts this thing up to the 120 to 130 mark, which I think is, kind of a good mixture because then you could really use it as both a primary as well as a secondary because you got that distance and performance. Now, overall, guys, man, some of these blasters, again, that have been coming out, they just look so good, or they are kind of redefined versions of stuff that we've seen previous. And man, I mean, until I stick that upgraded spring in here, I'm so pumped. But it's still respectable coming in right around about 100 FPS. And the look and feel is awesome. The slide lock is awesome. I mean, I could do that all day long. I could do that all day long. I think it is awesome. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to put a lot more rounds through this. I probably put about 200 or so rounds through it. And we're going to see. We're going to see how this thing kind of stands up to the test of time. And then we'll throw that upgraded spring in here to really see how far we can push this thing. But let me know what you guys think. Again, it's a different blaster. I love the look and the functionality of it. I would say, yeah, pick it up. It works great. And coming along with some of the regular darts, you just can't beat it without having to go with those hard-headed darts that I'm just not a big fan of. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this bad boy. Leave it down in the comments like always. Thanks again, Fox fans.